The drama surrounding Gervonta "Tank" Davis and the Haney family has officially crossed the line from competitive rivalry into something far messier, far more personal, and far more revealing about where modern boxing really stands. What should be a straightforward discussion about legacy, contracts, and elite matchups has instead turned into social media warfare, public embarrassment, and a slow unmasking of fractures that have been building behind the scenes for years. This isn't just about Devin Haney and Tank Davis anymore. This is about power, control, pride, and who actually gets crowned the face of boxing when the smoke clears. It all reignited the moment Bill Haney decided to publicly troll Tank and his team. The jab wasn't subtle. It wasn't strategic. It was flashy, personal, and designed to embarrass. Bragging about luxury cars and framing it as proof of success, Bill Haney aimed directly at Tank's camp, implying mistreatment, mismanagement, and a lack of loyalty. In boxing, those kinds of shots don't land quietly. They echo, and Tank heard every word. Tank's response was immediate and ruthless. Instead of ducking the noise, he leaned straight into it, firing back with insults that stripped the moment of any moral high ground Bill Haney may have thought he held. Tank didn't just defend himself, he flipped the entire narrative, mocking the idea that fighters who sell fewer tickets and generate less revenue could ever shame him financially. His message was blunt: bring a real contract. Stop talking, and stop pretending money and influence come from Instagram videos instead of sold-out arenas. What made the exchange even more uncomfortable was the hypocrisy sitting just beneath the surface. Not long ago, Bill Haney was defending Tank publicly, framing his legal issues as part of a broader pattern affecting black athletes and calling for unity rather than ridicule. He spoke with empathy. He spoke with understanding. He spoke like someone who recognized the cost of public pressure. Fast forward a short time later, and that same support vanished, replaced by mockery and viral clips. In boxing, loyalty often lasts only as long as it's convenient. The feud didn't exist in a vacuum either. History has teeth, and this rivalry has been simmering for years. From sparring sessions that allegedly went sideways to social media jabs after Devin Haney's loss to Ryan Garcia, the tension has never truly cooled. It only escalated when Tank publicly mocked Haney after that upset loss, turning a competitive rivalry into something openly hostile. What followed wasn't just words. It nearly turned physical. The Las Vegas nightclub incident was the moment things crossed into dangerous territory. Tank showing up, posting photos with Haney's luxury vehicle, and signaling that he was on Haney's side of town wasn't accidental. It was provocation. Haney's reaction was instant. What unfolded next was chaos. Shouting, crowds, teams pulling fighters apart before punches could fly. In that moment, boxing didn't look like a sport built on contracts and negotiations. It looked like pride, colliding with ego in real time. While fans focused on the beef, another storyline quietly grew louder. Tank's own camp was unraveling. Questions about his relationship with longtime trainer Calvin Ford refused to die. No matter how many times they were denied publicly, Tank admitted there were issues. Not explosive blow-ups, but something more dangerous. Silent misunderstandings, unspoken resentment, distrust fueled by media narratives and financial tension. Tank claimed his trainers allowed outside voices to influence their perception of how they were being treated. He insisted he had always taken care of them, not just during fights but consistently, framing the relationship as familial rather than transactional. But boxing doesn't operate on feelings alone. When Calvin Ford wasn't present for the Lamont Roach fight, the absence spoke louder than any interview could. On fight night, when Tank yelled at Ford in the corner, fans noticed. The moment felt wrong, disrespectful, uncomfortable, and once those moments are caught on camera, they don't disappear. Ford and Kenny Ellis attempted damage control. Both denied claims that Tank failed to pay them. Both insisted the bond was intact. Both pushed back against the narrative of a split, but their words carried hesitation, ambiguity. They defended Tank, yet left just enough unanswered to keep speculation alive. When Ford admitted stepping away to focus on younger fighters, it only added fuel. Distance doesn't erase tension, it magnifies it. What makes this situation heavier is Tank himself. He's openly talked about therapy, about mental health, about wanting to be a better father, about potentially walking away from boxing once he empties himself completely in the ring. Those aren't the words of a man fully at peace. They're the words of someone carrying pressure from every direction. Legal issues, public scrutiny, career expectations, and now, internal conflict within the very circle that built him. All of this feeds directly back into the Haney feud, because when Bill Haney questioned Tank's ability to be the face of boxing due to legal restrictions and travel limitations, he wasn't just insulting Tank, he was challenging his legitimacy. And Tank doesn't respond well to challenges that question his dominance. That's why his reply wasn't measured, it was aggressive. He wasn't trying to sound diplomatic, he was trying to reassert control. The irony is that the fight everyone wants still hangs in limbo. Devin Haney and Tank Davis remain in different weight classes. Contract talks remain theoretical. Timelines remain unclear. Tank says, bring the contract. Haney says, he wants the fight. Fans are stuck watching Twitter exchanges instead of press conferences. Boxing, once again, is eating itself in public. Underneath all the noise, one truth remains unavoidable. None of this chaos exists if Tank Davis isn't one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport. None of it matters if Devin Haney isn't an elite technician with something to prove. The rivalry is fueled by legitimacy on both sides. That's what makes it volatile. That's what makes it compelling. And that's why it refuses to fade. But the longer this stays online instead of on paper, the more credibility erodes. Trash talk without contracts becomes noise. Beef without resolution becomes parody. And boxing fans who've seen this movie too many times are starting to grow impatient. They don't want another viral moment. They want clarity. They want accountability. They want fights that settle arguments instead of extending them. So now the question turns to you. Do you think Tank Davis is right to fire back the way he did? Or did he cross a line that damaged his image as the face of boxing? Has Bill Haney gone too far, turning rivalry into ridicule? Or is this just the business of keeping pressure on a superstar? And most importantly, do you still believe we'll ever see Devin Haney and Gervonta Davis settle this in the ring? Or is this destined to remain a social media saga instead of a boxing classic? Drop your thoughts in the comments.